Hi, buddy. This is Mr. Folly, and welcome to Podcast 7.2. We're going to write chemical reactions from words. Oops, I think we didn't do that quite enough. We're going to talk about single and double replacement, synthesis and decomposition reactions, combustion reactions, and oops, didn't mean to do that. We actually have a third one with energy. So that's it. So let's start it. Reactants, products, yields, produces. So reactants are the things on the left. Products are on the right. Of what? Of the arrow. Products are on the right of the arrow. Yields means makes or arrow. Produces means makes or arrow. So what we need to do is if I gave you, I wish I had a clean doodad on there. So on your worksheet that you did page 1 on, there's one that says, oh, let's have that fun. Let's just hop right off the PowerPoint. Ooh, how crazy! How crazy! And let's do this. So if I have something that says nitric oxide, and then it says NO, this is the first question on your worksheet, reacts with ozone, and then it tells you ozone is O3 to produce, whoa, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. Oops, oxygen gas. Okay. So when this happens, what you're going to do you see how I have nitrogen oxide reacts with ozone? That reacts with means plus. So I have NO plus ozone, O3. To produce, remember to produce means arrow. Boing. Nitrogen dioxide, okay, we're talking about molecular compounds. I hear my prefixes. NO. And means plus, oxygen gas. Okay, so really not that bad to figure out how to do with these. So let's see if it'll let me pick it up in the same spot. Mm-mm-mm. So reactants are on the left, products are on the right. So if you say reacts with, that means it's a reactant. Produces, everything after produces is going to be a product. Okay. Synthesis is our first type of combination. So this is the type of reaction synthesis. Two elements combine. If I have A plus B, it's going to make AB. I'm going to tell you this though, you're going to have to crisscross. Na plus Cl2 makes NaCl. Hey, what? But the two, remember sodium from the periodic table is +1. Chloride from the periodic table is -1. That's why it's NaCl. But the two, if I put a 2 here, that gives me 2 chlorines. And if I put a 2 here, that gives me 2 sodiums. See how balancing actually makes some sense now? Yep. So H2 plus O2 makes H2O. Notice element and an element combine to make water. Okay, but the two, oh, I get it now. Balancing does that. I need another oxygen. This 2 gives me 2. That gives me 4 hydrogens, 4 hydrogens. Okay, 2 elements combine to form one compound. I'm having U problems lately. Decomposition. A compound, it's a big thing, falls into smaller pieces. For us, we're going to have a compound that turns into elements. So notice this is one compound, it has bonds, right? Turns into 2 separate elements. But this is one and it turns to 2. Oh, this balancing thing really kind of makes a little more sense now, doesn't it? 2 nitrogens, 2 nitrogens, 6 hydrogens, 6 hydrogens. Okay, but if I have CO2, it's going to fall apart into C and O2. So all I do is split it into elements? Yes, if you have one compound, all you do is split it into elements. Why do these have 2's? Oh yeah, you forgot that? That's okay. I like to say Honkelbrief. These elements always are diatomic. So when they're by themselves, they need to have a 2 on it. Yes, you have to write that down. Yes, you need to know it. Blah, 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 blah. But we got it. Honkelbrief. Sample, nitrogen dioxide decomposes. NO2. Boink. All right. So if it decomposes its one element, turn it into one compound, turn it into its elements. N plus O. Is N diatomic? Yeah. Is O diatomic? Yeah. And then you can balance it if it makes you happy. It makes me happy. Me too. Calcium reacts with. Reacts with means plus. So calcium plus O2. I have two elements. Two elements means I have to put them together and check their charges. Calcium periodic table says plus 2. Oxygen periodic table says minus 2. Hey, that balances. Okay, I'll balance it to make the balancers happy. One compound. One compound is going to split into two elements. H plus S. Is hydrogen diatomic? Yeah. Is sulfur? No. Hey, I'm finished. Two things. Zinc and oxygen are two separate things. All they can do is smush together. ZnO. Not O2, O. Now I need to figure out if it is O2. Zinc is plus 2. That's our weird Roman metal. Oxygen's minus 2. Hey, look, those charge balance it. I'll erase them. Ding. Single replacement. My date left me for somebody better looking. Element plus a compound. It's new element, new compound plus an element. So, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt used to be the it couple, but along came Angelina Jolie, who came, I'm going to steal you away. Goodbye, Jennifer Aniston. You're horribly annoying. Okay? So my date left me for somebody better looking for whatever reason. And in my class one year, a few years ago, said the most attractive man on earth is, yep, you guessed it, Lil Wayne. So Lil Wayne can come and steal your spouse anytime Lil Wayne wants to. So look out for that. So here, an element plus a compound makes a new compound in an element. So see how A, B, and C, do you see how C can replace A? So I get CB plus A, left alone. Aww. Double replacement. Changing partners, but everybody still has one. So big difference between single and double. Do you see how this is a solo, lone element, and then a compound? Over here, you have a compound and a compound. Where I live in Indiana, what happened was one person on the street got a divorce because they were cheating on their spouse, and they just kind of traded partners, and that's the truth. So wife one and husband one traded, and wife one remarried husband two, and that's just crazy. But basically, they just changed partners. Okay. The reactants are aqueous, and it's going to make a precipitate. Sodium chloride reacts with lead 4 nitrate. Sodium chloride. Plus 1, minus 1, charge is good. Reacts with lead 4. Lead, that 4 means its charge is plus 4. Nitrate, oh, these ions are still here? Yeah, buddy. To balance these charges, it takes 4 negative 1s to balance a plus 4. And then I erase the charges. I need new partners. Na is going to have, so the positive one is going to join with the old negative one. NaNO3. Plus 1, minus 1, cancels. Plus, new partners. Pb plus 4, Cl minus 1, PbCl4. To balance the charges. I'm not going to balance these guys overall, balance the overall reaction just for the sake of time. You want this to be done as quick as you can. So copper 2 sulfate, CuSO4. Copper 2 is plus 2. Sulfate is minus 2. How do I know this? On your ion list. If you threw out your ion list, you're in trouble. You're going to need a new one. Reacts with barium fluoride. Barium plus 2, fluoride minus 1. That means it takes 2 fluorides to balance it, and scribbledy-dibbly. So now these need new partners. The positive copper needs a new negative to join up with. Copper was plus 2, is now with fluoride minus 1. So that means it's going to take 2 fluorines, plus barium, plus 2, and now with sulfur. Now notice the positive one always goes first, okay? So these balance each other. The positive one always goes first. Like we always say ladies and gentlemen, because the ladies are better than us gentlemen. Sorry guys, it's true. We always put positive ones before the negative ones. Okay. potassium iodide, Ki, that's +1 and -1, reacts with plus aluminum +3, nitrate, NO3 -1. So this is +3, this is -1, so it takes, fire, three of them to cancel it out, and then I need to scribble this out. Oh, and you know, I almost said this is working so well. Stop that. Okay, so that would give me Ki plus, no it wouldn't. I need a new partner. K is going to join with NO3. KNO3 plus, fire, Ali3. Okay, and the 3 came from the charges. All right, combustion. Burning needs oxygen. Oxygen is O2. And a hydrocarbon. A hydrocarbon is something with C something, H something, and maybe an O. Products are always the most common oxide of whatever we burn. That means we're going to get CO2 plus H2O. Okay. Methane burns, CH4. In order to burn, it must react with oxygen. I'm just going to do the reactants first. Sugar burns, C6H12O6. If it burns, it needs oxygen. Magnesium burns. Okay. Most common oxide of carbon and hydrogen are CO2 plus H2O. Most common oxide of carbon and hydrogen are CO2 plus H2O. And if you think, what about the oxygen? See how there's oxygen over here? So that you're not going to have an oxygen thing in there. Magnesium burns is going to give you the most common oxide, which is going to be, check my charges, MgO. Okay, this is like an extra credit type question. This is what they're going to look like for the most part. Okay. Review. Know your reactants, products, and yields. Know your 5 types of reactions, and know that we're done with types of reactions. Toodles.